the woman who stole every soldier's man. Strong, confident female voice with underlying anger. Girl, I need to tell you something about Lieutenant Hayes. My friend Specialist Martinez pulled me aside after PT, her voice urgent and low. She's dating your ex-Sergeant Williams, saw them at the PX yesterday. I shrugged, we broke up 3 months ago, he can date whoever. Amber, Martinez hesitated, they started dating 6 weeks ago. I did the math. 6 weeks ago I'd only been single for 6 weeks. He'd moved on in days, maybe hours. It gets worse, Martinez continued. Before Williams, she was with Corporal Jackson, before him, Staff Sergeant Chen, before him, Lieutenant Rodriguez. That's when it hit me. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes wasn't just dating. She was systematically stealing every woman's man in Bravo Company. And my ex-boyfriend was just her latest trophy. What she didn't know. She'd just united 5 pissed-off female soldiers with one common enemy. This is silent platoon revenge. I'm Sergeant First Class Amber Collins. And this is the story of how one officer destroyed multiple women's relationships, and how we came together to destroy her career. This isn't just about stealing boyfriends. This is about a female predator who targeted women's partners, manipulated soldiers, and turned our unit into a war zone. Because when you come for one woman's man, you come for all of us. And we fight back. She took my man. Fort Hood, Texas, Bravo Company 3rd Battalion. I'm 29 years old, E7, 12 years in service, combat deployment to Iraq, respected NCO. I'd been dating Sergeant Michael Williams for 8 months. He was 28, infantry, good man. We were serious, talking about marriage, making plans. Then in March, everything changed. Amber, we need to talk. The conversation every woman dreads. I care about you, but I think we want different things. I need space to figure out what I want. It was clean, respectful, mature. It was also bullshit. 6 weeks later, I saw them together. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes, age 27, West Point graduate, logistics officer, beautiful, ambitious, and I was about to learn a complete predator. She was laughing with Michael at the DFAC, touching his arm, looking at him the way she should only look at her own man. Except Michael was her own man now. My friend Martinez told me the truth. Girl, they've been together for 4 weeks, he left you for her. The betrayal hit like a physical blow. That's when Martinez showed me the pattern. She'd been watching, because Martinez had also lost her boyfriend to Sarah Hayes. Amber, sit down, you need to see something. She pulled out her phone, showed me notes. The Sarah Hayes body count, it said. January, 9 months ago, Lieutenant Hayes arrives at Fort Hood. February, starts dating Lieutenant Rodriguez, he had a girlfriend, PFC Kim. April, Rodriguez breaks up with Kim, Hayes dumps him 1 month later. May, starts dating Staff Sergeant Chen, he was engaged, SBC Johnson. June, Chen breaks engagement, Hayes dumps him after 6 weeks. July, starts dating Corporal Jackson, serious girlfriend, SGT Davis. September, Jackson breaks up with Davis, Hayes dating him currently. October, dumps Jackson, starts pursuing SGT Williams, my boyfriend. November, Williams leaves me, is with Hayes. Holy shit, I whispered. 5 relationships in 9 months, Martinez said. Every single one, she targeted men who were already in relationships. Why would she do that? Because she's a predator, she gets off on stealing other women's men, it's a power trip. I wasn't just angry, I was furious. This wasn't normal dating, this wasn't even normal homewrecking. This was systematic destruction of women's relationships. And I was done playing victim. The group chat started that night. I created it, Sarah Hayes Victims United. I added myself, SFC Amber Collins, Williams's ex. SBC Jessica Martinez, lost her boyfriend to Hayes months ago. SGT Monica Davis, boyfriend stolen last month. SBC Rachel Johnson, engagement broken by Hayes. PFC Lisa Kim, first known victim. My message was simple. Ladies, we've all lost men to the same woman. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes has been systematically targeting our relationships. She goes after taken men, breaks them up, then discards them. I say we stop fighting each other and start fighting her. Meeting tonight, 1900 hours, my room. Tell no one. The sisterhood forms. 1900 hours, 5 female soldiers entered my room. We'd been avoiding each other for months. Some of us had blamed each other instead of her. Some had nearly fought over the men she'd stolen. Now we sat in a circle, looking at each other with anger, pain, and determination. I spoke first. I'm Amber, I'm a sergeant first class with 12 years in. I dated Sergeant Williams for 8 months. He was my first serious relationship after my divorce. I thought we were building something real. I paused. Lieutenant Hayes targeted him. I watched her flirt with him at unit functions. Watched her ask him for help with her car, her computer, her PT test, always needing something. Michael told me I was paranoid, that she was just friendly, that I was being insecure. My jaw tightened. 6 weeks after he dumped me, they were officially together. Found out later she'd been pursuing him for 2 months before he left me. She didn't just steal my boyfriend, she made me doubt my own instincts, made me feel crazy for seeing what was right in front of me. Monica Davis went next. 28 years old, sergeant, combat medic, strong and normally unshakable. Tonight she looked tired. I'm Monica, I was with Corporal Jackson for a year. We lived together off base, talked about getting married after his deployment next year. Then Lieutenant Hayes arrived in our unit. She zeroed in on him immediately. Started asking him to help her move furniture, to show her around the area since she was new, to be her battle buddy for mandatory events. Monica's voice hardened. I told him I was uncomfortable. He said I was being territorial, that she was an officer and it was professional. Then she started texting him, all hours. Can't sleep, want to talk, at 2 a.m, having a bad day, need advice during our date nights. He'd check his phone constantly, respond immediately to her, but take hours to respond to me. She took a breath. He left me in September, said he needed space. 1 week later he was with her. 2 months later she dumped him, he came crawling back, I told him to fuck off. But the damage was done. A year together, gone because she wanted to prove she could take him. Rachel Johnson spoke third. 26 years old, specialist intelligence analyst, her eyes red from recent crying. I'm Rachel, I was engaged to Staff Sergeant Chen, we'd been together 3 years. Wedding was planned for June, invitations sent. Her voice broke. Lieutenant Hayes started working with him on a joint operation. They spent long hours together. I trusted him, we were engaged. But she was relentless, always complimenting him, telling him how impressive he was, how underappreciated. She'd text him, your fiancé is so lucky with heart eyes. Wish I had a man like you. I saw the messages, confronted him. He said it was nothing, that I was being insecure. Rachel's hands trembled. He broke off our engagement in June, said he wasn't ready for marriage, that he needed to be sure. 1 week later he was with Lieutenant Hayes. She dated him for 6 weeks, then dumped him right before what would have been our wedding date. He called me crying, said he'd made a mistake, wanted me back. She looked at us with steel in her eyes. I said no, but I want her to pay for destroying 3 years and a wedding. Lisa Kim spoke forth. 23 years old, private first class, new to the army, barely holding it together. I'm Lisa, I was with Lieutenant Rodriguez, my first real relationship. I was 22, he was 29, I thought he was the one. We'd been together 6 months when Lieutenant Hayes arrived. She outranked me. She was older, more experienced, more everything. She started talking to him after formations, asking his opinion on things, making him feel important. Lisa's voice cracked. He left me in March, said I was too young, too immature, that he needed someone on his level. He was with her 1 week later. She dumped him after a month. I was so devastated I requested a transfer, but I couldn't leave until my contract was up. She looked at me. I thought it was my fault, that I wasn't good enough, until Martinez told me about the pattern. She didn't leave him because of me, she left him because she'd already found her next target. Jessica Martinez spoke last. 27 years old, specialist supply sergeant, and the one who'd been tracking Hayes from the beginning. I'm Jessica. I wasn't dating anyone from this unit, but I've watched Lieutenant Hayes destroy 5 relationships and I'm done watching. I'm also the one who's been documenting everything. She pulled out a thick folder. Ladies, Lieutenant Hayes has violated multiple regulations. We just need to prove it. Our revenge strategy. We spent 3 hours that first night planning. Each of us brought something critical. I had command experience. As an E7, I knew how to navigate military bureaucracy, who to talk to, how to build an official case. Monica had medical training and psych background. She could articulate the emotional damage, document psychological warfare tactics. Rachel had intelligence analysis skills. She could track patterns, build timelines, connect dots. Lisa had nothing to lose. She was the youngest, most hurt, and least afraid of consequences. Jessica had been documenting everything. Photos, screenshots, witnesses. But we needed more. We need to catch her in the act, I said. Targeting another woman's man, on camera, undeniable. Monica leaned forward. Who's she seeing now? Williams, I said bitterly. My ex. For how long? 3 weeks official, but I guarantee she's already looking for her next target. Rachel pulled up the unit roster on her phone. Who's her type? What's the pattern? We analysed. Age 27-32. Rank E5 to 03, sergeants to captains. Status in a relationship required. Type fit, respected leadership positions. She doesn't want single men, Monica realised. She wants taken men, the challenge, the conquest. So who's her next target? I knew immediately. Captain Brooks, married, 2 kids, respected company commander. How do you know? Because I've seen her watching him, and his wife just left for 2 months to take care of her sick mother in Florida. Perfect target, perfect timing. Here is the trap. We set the trap carefully. Step 1, document current behaviour. Jessica followed Hayes whenever possible, photographed her. Entering male soldiers' barracks, fraternization. Accepting gifts from enlisted men, improper relationships. Having lunch one-on-one with married Captain Brooks repeatedly. Step 2, gather testimonies. I contacted every man Hayes had dated. Rodriguez broken. Chen regretful. Jackson angry. Williams starting to see the pattern. Each one confirmed she'd pursued them while they were in relationships, that she'd been relentless, that she'd dumped them quickly after getting them to leave their girlfriends. Step 3, the bait. Lisa volunteered for something brilliant. I'll start dating someone new, someone visible, someone she'll want. Who? Sergeant First Class Martinez, Jessica's brother. He just transferred here, doesn't know Hayes. Lisa started dating Carlos Martinez, Jessica's brother, who was in on our plan. We made it very public, very visible, very obvious. And we waited. It took 2 weeks. Lieutenant Hayes approached Carlos at the gym. Jessica was there, recording discreetly. Hey, you're new here, right? I'm Lieutenant Hayes. Sergeant First Class Martinez, ma'am. Oh, please call me Sarah off duty. Touch on his arm. You must be feeling pretty lost, new to the unit. I'd love to show you around. Actually, my girlfriend's been showing me around, Lisa Kim. Hayes's eyes lit up. Oh, Lisa, she's sweet, young though. Bet she doesn't really understand what an NCO like you needs. Carlos, she understands just fine, ma'am. Hayes, well, if you ever need someone more experienced to talk to, I'm always available. Smile, hair flip, another touch. Got her. Over the next 3 weeks, Hayes pursued Carlos relentlessly. Despite him telling her he was with Lisa. Despite him making it clear he wasn't interested. Despite Lisa standing right there on multiple occasions. Jessica documented everything. 47 text messages from Hayes to Carlos, he screenshotted all. 12 accidental encounters at gym/dfac/px. 3 invitations to her quarters, improper. Multiple touches, flirtations, boundary violations. All while Carlos remained faithful to Lisa, all while they both documented. Then Hayes made her fatal mistake. She texted Carlos. Lisa's sweet, but she's just a PFC. You're an E7, you need someone at your level, someone who understands leadership, someone like me. I know you feel this too, meet me tonight. Screenshot saved, evidence. Meanwhile, I'd been building the official case. Filed formal complaints. Fraternization, Hayes 02 pursuing enlisted men improper. Conduct unbecoming an officer, targeting men in relationships. Destruction of unit cohesion, creating drama, broken relationships. Harassment, pursuing Carlos despite repeated rejections. Supporting evidence. 5 broken relationships. All following same pattern. Text messages showing predatory behavior. Photos showing fraternization violations. Testimonies from 8 soldiers, 5 victims plus 3 ex-boyfriends. Psych evaluation from Monica showing emotional damage. Timeline from Rachel showing systematic targeting. We presented everything to the battalion commander. The confrontation. The hearing was scheduled for Tuesday, 1400 hours. Present. Battalion Commander, LTC Reynolds. Company Commander, CPT Martinez not related to Jessica. JAG Officer. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes. All 5 of us. Lieutenant Hayes walked in confident, saw us all sitting together. Her confidence faltered. Lieutenant Hayes, you've been accused of multiple violations. These soldiers are here to present evidence. Sir, whatever they've said, it's lies. They're jealous because. Lieutenant, you'll have your chance to respond. First, we'll hear from Sergeant First Class Collins. I stood, handed the commander our compiled folder. Sir, over the past 9 months, Lieutenant Hayes has engaged in a pattern of targeting male soldiers who are in committed relationships, pursuing them until they break up with their partners, then discarding them and moving to the next target. I projected our timeline on the screen. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes, Relationship Destruction Timeline. February, targets LT Rodriguez, dating PFC Kim for 6 months. March, Rodriguez leaves Kim for Hayes. April, Hayes dumps Rodriguez, targets SSG Chen, engaged to SPC Johnson. May, Chen breaks engagement for Hayes. June, Hayes dumps Chen, targets CPL Jackson, dating SGT Davis for 1 year. July, Jackson leaves Davis for Hayes. September, Hayes dumps Jackson, targets SGT Williams, dating SFC Collins for 8 months. October, Williams leaves Collins for Hayes. November, Hayes currently with Williams, already targeting married CPT Brooks. Sir, 5 relationships destroyed in 9 months. Every single target was taken when she pursued them. Monica presented the psychological impact. Sir, I'm a combat medic with psychology training. The pattern Lieutenant Hayes exhibits is predatory. She doesn't want available men. She specifically targets committed relationships. Why? Because the challenge validates her. The conquest proves her power. The destruction of other women's relationships is the actual goal. PFC Kim considered suicide after her breakup. SPC Johnson is in therapy for PTSD from her broken engagement. SGT Davis requested transfer to avoid seeing her ex daily. This isn't dating, this is psychological warfare against female soldiers. Rachel presented the evidence. Sir, I'm an intelligence analyst. I've documented Lieutenant Hayes' pattern with the same methodology I use for threat analysis. She identifies targets based on visibility, rank, relationship status must be taken, and the partner's rank always targets men dating women of equal or lower rank. She then uses the same tactical approach. Engineered encounters, requests for help, boundary-pushing texts, isolation of the target from his partner and final conquest. This is methodical, this is intentional, this is calculated. Jessica presented the current evidence. Sir, Lieutenant Hayes is currently pursuing my brother, Sergeant First Class Martinez, despite him being in a relationship with PFC Kim. We documented her pursuit. She played the gym video, showed the text messages. Lisa's just a PFC, you need someone at your level, someone like me. The commander's expression darkened. Lisa spoke last. Sir, I'm the first woman whose relationship Lieutenant Hayes destroyed. I was 22. It was my first serious boyfriend. I thought it was my fault. I've spent 8 months thinking I wasn't good enough, that I was too young, too inexperienced, too inadequate. But I wasn't the problem, she was. She targeted him because he was with me. She destroyed us because she could. Her voice strengthened. I'm speaking up so no other woman spends months believing she wasn't enough, because we were all enough. She's just a predator. The commander looked at Lieutenant Hayes. Lieutenant Hayes, you've heard the evidence. Do you have a response? Hayes stood shaky now. Sir, I didn't target these men because they were in relationships. They pursued me. I can't help if men are attracted to me. The text messages to Sergeant First Class Martinez, I asked coldly. I was being friendly. You told him his girlfriend wasn't at his level and invited him to your quarters. I was just. You did to him exactly what you did to my boyfriend, and hers, and hers, and hers. All 5 of us stared at her. Hayes looked at the commander. Sir, they're just jealous. I'm an officer, I'm attractive, and their men preferred me. That's not illegal. The commander stood. Lieutenant Hayes, what is illegal is fraternization between officers and enlisted. You're an O2 who dated multiple enlisted soldiers. What is against regulation is conduct unbecoming an officer. You systematically targeted committed relationships. What is unacceptable is destroying unit cohesion through your actions. You're hereby relieved of duty pending formal investigation. You'll face an Article 15 hearing next week. You're restricted to base and will have no contact with anyone present, except through official channels. Dismissed. Our revenge is complete. Lieutenant Sarah Hayes's Article 15 hearing was brutal. The evidence was overwhelming. 8 soldiers testified. Her own text messages convicted her. Charges. Article 134. Fraternization, multiple enlisted relationships. Conduct unbecoming an officer. Destruction of good order and discipline. Punishment. Letter of reprimand, permanent record career killer for officers. Loss of 1 month's pay. Suspended from duties for 30 days. Recommendation for separation from service. She resigned her commission rather than face separation proceedings. Gone within 3 weeks. But our revenge didn't stop there. The men who'd left us for her. Rodriguez tried to get back with Lisa. She told him to fuck off. Last I heard, he's still single and bitter. Chen begged Rachel to take him back. She blocked his number. She's now engaged to a Marine she met at a friend's wedding. Better man, better life. Jackson wanted Monica back. She laughed in his face. She's dating a successful civilian contractor now, makes twice what Jackson does. Williams realized what he'd lost, tried apologizing to me. I told him I'd never trust a man who believed a predator over me. I'm dating a colonel now, different unit, completely different base. He knows my story, respects my strength. The 5 of us. We became sisters. The sisterhood of stolen hearts. We meet monthly, support each other, help other women who have been targeted by female predators. Because Sarah Hayes wasn't unique, she's a type. Women who target other women's men. Women who get off on conquest. Women who destroy relationships for sport. And now we help other women fight back. 3 months after Hayes left, I got promoted to Master Sergeant. At the ceremony, the battalion commander mentioned me specifically. Sometimes leadership isn't about combat, it's about protecting your fellow soldiers. Sergeant First Class Collins saw a threat to unit cohesion and took action. She united victims instead of letting them fight each other. That's the kind of NCO this army needs. I caught the eyes of Monica, Rachel, Lisa and Jessica across the formation. We'd won. Not just against Hayes. But for every woman who's been told she was paranoid or jealous when she saw a threat. For every woman who lost a man to a predator and blamed herself. For every woman who stayed silent because speaking up seemed petty. We proved that women united are unstoppable. The final message. I'm Master Sergeant Amber Collins now. 14 years in service, currently stationed at Fort Bragg. Monica is a sergeant first class, running the entire medical platoon. Rachel left the army, works for the NSA, uses her intelligence skills to protect the country. Lisa made specialist, found her confidence, engaged to a good man from a different base. Jessica is still tracking predators, runs an unofficial database warning women about toxic people in the military. And Sarah Hayes. I heard she tried to get a job as a defense contractor, got blacklisted when someone told them why she left the army. Tried to date in the civilian world. Turns out her tactics don't work as well when there's no rank structure to exploit. Last I heard, she's working retail, alone, bitter. Good. To every woman watching who's lost a man to a female predator. It wasn't your fault. You weren't too jealous, you weren't too insecure, you weren't too anything. You saw the threat, you were right. Don't let anyone gaslight you into believing you imagined it. To every woman who's been told they're just friends. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. If she's constantly texting, touching, needing him, she's hunting. To women who are the predators. We see you. We document you. We warn each other about you. And when you target one of us, we all come for you. This is silent platoon revenge. Where female predators met female warriors. Where stolen men became evidence. Where 5 women united became an unstoppable force. We didn't do it for revenge. We did it for every woman who's been gaslighted, blamed, or told she was crazy. We did it for every relationship destroyed by a predator in uniform. We did it for every sister who thought she was alone. Because the first rule of sisterhood. We protect each other. Not just from men. From toxic women too. I'm Master Sergeant Amber Collins, and this was our story. Hit subscribe if you believe in women supporting women, even when the enemy wears the same uniform. And tell me in the comments, have you ever lost a man to a female predator? How did you handle it? Until next time, remember, sisters united are unstoppable. Predators divided fall alone. And when we fight back, we don't just win. We destroy. No courtrooms, no mercy, just justice. Please like and subscribe.